So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trauma Theory. Key updates today. Post Zaniolo, is Zaniolo staying? Who can be the replacement of Zaniolo? And today's live stream is all about this. Now, I said this yesterday, then I had a blackout and the stream had to end. So yeah, I excuse about that. But we've talked about this in the match reaction. This week, the big topic of this week is this. And as much as I do want the team to mentally prepare for the Napoli game, it's also very hard not to talk about this situation this week, because this situation is a critical situation. It's an important situation because we have to understand what Zaniolo's planning to do. We have to understand what the ownership is planning to do with Zaniolo in these last days of the January window, if he can stay until the January window, if he then stays and gets sold in the summer. We have a lot of codes to crack. But yeah, I mean, the first thing we have to say, obviously, today's stream is also about ZIYECH, because most of you guys here read about ZIYECH potentially being the substitution of Zaniolo, the replacement of Zaniolo. There are many people who say Roma have blocked ZIYECH in case Zaniolo leaves. But as much as I want to talk about ZIYECH, we have to speak about Zaniolo first. The ZIYECH situation is just, it's so linked to Zaniolo staying, to Zaniolo not staying, to Zaniolo leaving. And therefore, we can't speak about ZIYECH before speaking about Zaniolo. Now, we've got key updates in compared to yesterday. We've got key updates because in the space of 24 hours, the situation is changing. The situation is becoming even more critical. Now, yesterday, Gianluca Di Marzio said how Milan are now leading the race. Milan are leading the race in showing the most interest in Zaniolo. Milan have offered a loan around 22 million, a loan with an obligation to buy back. However, that obligation to buy back will be triggered only if Milan qualify for the next season's Champions League. As things stand, as we said yesterday, Tiago Pinto has said no to this. First of all, because we discussed how he wants to fully let Zaniolo go on a permanent deal. He does not want loans. But the most important thing of that is that obviously they value Zaniolo more than 22 million. Therefore, Milan is showing interest, and Milan, according to Di Marzio, will show interest until the end of this week. But in order for Zaniolo to successfully complete a move to Milan have to increase their offer, and Milan most probably would have to get rid of a loan move. Tiago Pinto wants to sell him permanently. The club has agreed that they will let him go on loan deals only in emergencies. They want the guy to leave the club on a permanent move. We have to speak about Tottenham too, and how Milan are leading the race because Tottenham just hijacked Everton's deal to sign Danjuma. Therefore, they're not going to show interest in Zaniolo anymore. So I think linking Zaniolo to Tottenham, and this is a key update which came today, is no longer a valid option. Tottenham literally 2 hours ago have completed the Danjuma move, whatever its name is, and therefore they will not present more money to buy yet another player which plays in the attack. That's why I think Tottenham are out of the race. Tottenham will, therefore, if Zaniolo stays, he will definitely leave in the summer. They will definitely show interest in the summer again. I think much of Zaniolo moving to Tottenham is linked to Antonio Conte staying. Conte is the one who wants him at Tottenham. So if he was to leave the club as a manager this summer, then I don't think Tottenham would enter any races to sign Zaniolo. The important, significant other deal is coming from Newcastle. Now, Roma also said no to a Newcastle offer, and this Newcastle offer was an initial 5 million to loan him out, and a 35 million potential money move if they want him on a permanent move. So again, we're speaking about a loan, and this loan involves a 5 million which Newcastle would pay directly to us, and a 35 million if they want to buy him back. However, to trigger that obligation to buy back, he would have to play 75% of the remaining games at Newcastle. Realistically speaking, will Zaniolo even play 75% of games at Newcastle? That is exactly why Thiago Pinto has said no. Thiago Pinto has said no because the only reason for Newcastle to trigger that obligation to buy back, which would, basically sum things up around 40 million, which is a massive thing. But the only reason why Thiago Pinto said no to that is because he knows that Zaniolo will never play 75% of remaining games at Newcastle. Newcastle, are third in the league. They're playing so well. Even if they buy Zaniolo, why would they start Zaniolo? Therefore, there is no part of me, there is no part of Thiago Pinto which believes that the 35 million will be triggered because Zaniolo will never play 75% of remaining games at Newcastle. And that's a smart move because as much as the 40 million combined is a lot and it's what Thiago Pinto's asking for, it doesn't work like that because for Newcastle to trigger the 35 million, he would have to play 75. He would have to play 75% of remaining games. At the end of the day, I think the crucial thing here is Milan. I think the ball is in Milan's court. If Milan don't increase their offer and maybe get rid of the loan, I think Zaniolo will stay until the summer. I think right now, the only valid option to actually see Zaniolo leave in these last days of the January window would be Milan. It's all about Milan. Because you see, Zaniolo has said yes to Milan. Zaniolo right now only wants a Milan move. He would much rather stay in the Serie A than go to the Premier League. He has said yes to Milan. He only wants a Milan move. But unfortunately, the offer which Milan is presenting is not satisfying Roma's demands. So at the end of the day, my opinion is Zaniolo will stay. I definitely think Zaniolo will stay until the end of the season. Just because I cannot see Milan increasing their offer in the space of 7 days. I cannot see it. That's why I think he will stay until the summer. He's definitely going to leave in the summer, 100%. Even if he gets back playing, even if he gets back reintegrated in the team and starts scoring goals, I think he has to be sold in the summer. That's why I think he won't leave in January, because at the end of the day, no club is ready to offer the amount of money Roma's asking. But at the same time, it's good that Roma's asking a lot of money, because we cannot let Zaniolo go for less than 20 million. I'm sorry, we can't. We have to monetize. If we sell Zaniolo, we have to get a better player, which means money. Therefore, I know if you link Zaniolo's current price tag to his performances, it makes zero sense. But unfortunately, I totally agree with the ownership here. We cannot let Zaniolo go for less than 25 million. 25 million is the minimum, I think, is the minimum a club has to offer. We cannot let him go for a low amount of money, because yes, we need to monetize. That's the important thing about this. So I think he will stay. And you're probably asking yourself, and I touched on this yesterday, but you're probably asking yourself, what happens if he stays? Again, I've said this yesterday, I'm very curious to see what the club does if he stays. Because if this is a serious club, he doesn't play. If this is a club which is forced to make him move, then I think if I was the manager, I wouldn't play him. I wouldn't play him because for you to play with this team, first of all, you want to play for the team and you're willing to help the team, something which Zaniolo right now, the 24th of January, is nowhere close in trying to do. He does not want to help the team whatsoever. Second of all, if you mistreat the fans, that's an automatic, you don't play. And I think the crucial thing here, the crucial thing which has triggered really the lightning here is not, look, I'll be honest with you, it's not even not him being honest. Because not him being dishonest is played a very big part in the fans not appreciating him anymore. But the important thing, in my opinion, the thing which triggered everything, the thing which triggered the disappointment between the fans is him not making himself available for the Spezia game. I'm sorry, you're a professional player. You're linked with Roma. This is your job. Who are you to make yourself unavailable for this game? Who are you to say, no, I don't want to play this game? Who are you? You are bigger than the club, you think. You're that in compared to the club. So that was the event which triggered the disappointment between fans. Nowadays, what do these players think? That they can do whatever they want? No, you're part of a club. You follow what the club says. So that has been the trigger, without a doubt. Him being honest is definitely plays a big part too. But I don't know. I wouldn't start him. I really wouldn't. And another reason why is because we clearly in these last two games, which were the two best games of the season, the team has clearly shown us that they play better without him. So, but on the other hand, I think we do have to play him too, because if we don't play him, his value is going to massively drop. And if he stays and doesn't get 1 minute in his legs in the space of 4 months, you will never find a team which will offer around 35 to 40 million, which is what Roma's asking. So on the other side, you have to start him, because otherwise you're really never going to sell him. So I don't know. It's a critical situation. That's why I'm saying we should sell him now. Because if we sell him now, we're just done with him. If we don't sell him now, we've always got Zaniolo whinging in the background. So I think he has to stay. No. Sorry. He has to go. I think he has to go. Because I think he has to go. So this moves on to the replacement options. The replacement options, as things stand, are 3 players. The top priority is Hakim Ziyech, which would be the best priority. It would be a massive signing. Also, when it comes to the marketing of the club, it would be a massive signing to. I think Hakim Ziyech would be the best. Chelsea want to sell him. Chelsea have to sell him. In fact, Chelsea are also willing to not make us pay the amount of money they're initially asking for. I think with an 18 to 20 million offer, Ziyech is gone from Chelsea. So Hakim Ziyech would be amazing for me. I think the link up he could show with Dybala behind Tammy next to Pellegrini is sensational. So Ziyech would be the best. I mean, I said this yesterday. Before going to school, I always listen to this radio broadcast. Roma fans are invited. Roma ex-players are invited. And there's this absolute dickhead, which I'll say he's an absolute dickhead because he always criticizes the club, but he's an expert. He always criticizes the club, but he's an expert on Roma. And yesterday, it was yesterday where he literally said, if Zaniolo leaves, Roma have already blocked Hakim Ziyech, meaning that they're just waiting Zaniolo to leave and then they'll prepare an assault for Ziyech. I do think Ziyech is the one to come if Zaniolo leaves. But again, don't wish in Ziyech, don't hope in Ziyech if Zaniolo doesn't leave. This is so linked on Zaniolo. The second name is Deulofeu. Deulofeu is good too. I wouldn't mind him. The only problem with Deulofeu, and the only reason why he's less linked with Roma these days, is because he got injured in this weekend. And obviously we want fit players. We're coming into that part of the season, the most important part of the season. We're in a very great position. You see, I think what people underestimate is how good in a position we are. We're 1 point from the second position in the league. An Empoli masterclass made Inter lose at home against them. What is everyone hoping today? Lazio against Milan. What is everyone hoping? Looking at the table, we're 1 point from Milan. Napoli's gone, but what are you hoping for? Milan win, Lazio win or draw? Let me know in the live chat. Let me know what you guys are hoping for. I'm kind of hoping for a Milan win just because I want to see Lazio lose, and I think if Lazio lose, then we would massively starting to create a distance from them. So I'd rather a Milan win than a Lazio win, but I really wouldn't mind a draw too. Because we're in a great position. We're 1 point from second position. We've got We've got the ball in our hands to get in the Coppa Italia final. We're playing in the Europa League. What do we want more? We want big players, experienced players, and Hakim Ziyech is the best. And therefore we want fit players. And Deulofeu literally just got injured. And then the last name, which you've read today, which is again is just a rumor, is Adama Traore, Wolverhampton player. Ex-Barcelona player. He's fast on the ball. The only problem with him, he's a good player. I think he can kill in this area because of his speed. The problem with him is that problem with Traore is that he's very inconsistent, lads. I follow the Premier League. The last time Adama Traore scored a bloody goal was like 3 years ago. So out of the three, it's not even a question of me actually answering who would you rather have. I'd rather have Ziyech 100%. And I think we sell Zaniolo. We need a player better than Zaniolo. We sell players. We're always in the search of players which can re-improve the team, which can make the team compete at higher levels. Ziyech is the best without a doubt. And I think the link up you could show with Dybala, both of them have got a magical left foot, so I think it could be amazing. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think Zaniolo will leave. The reality of everything is, I want Ziyech. Roma have apparently blocked Ziyech, but I don't think Zaniolo will leave. I think Zaniolo will stay. And it's very curious to see how the team, how the club, how the players also. The players is important too. The player is massively. I've said about this yesterday, and I'm going to say it again because I said this yesterday, and then the connection broke because I had a blackout. I said the players reacting to Zaniolo staying is going to be significant. The players reacting to Zaniolo potentially be reintegrated in the team is so significant. Look at Sobakin and El Shaarawy, who are demanding minutes. I think El Shaarawy is the great example because he knows the club, and every time he gets a call-up, he always plays well. El Shaarawy is a top example. El Shaarawy wants to renew his contract at Roma and has said that he's willing to half his wage salary to renew his contract. El Shaarawy is top class. Look at El Shaarawy. Every time Mourinho starts him, he plays a fantastic match. He even grabs goals, something which Zaniolo has never done. Imagine Zaniolo stays and Mourinho reintegrates him back in the team, and he starts him over El Shaarawy. What's El Shaarawy supposed to do? El Shaarawy, who's probably the most innocent guy at the team, who's probably the most humble guy at the team, who's literally said, I'm willing to half my wages to renew my contract at Roma and potentially start more games. And then a guy who has openly said he wants to leave the club and hasn't made himself available for a Serie A game gets minutes before him. That is massively unfair, and that's why Mourinho has to be careful if Zaniolo stays on what he does with him. Because if Zaniolo gets reintegrated back in the team and starts game back again, El Shaarawy is not going to be happy, and not even Sobakin, who just got here. So it's a very controversial situation. I think he doesn't deserve to start. In fact, the question here is, does he even deserve to train with the team? Or do we just isolate him, keep his fitness good, and at the same time, kind of don't drop his value too much? That's why I think a loan wouldn't be bad. But at the same time, I totally agree with the ownership. We have to monetize. That's why I would rather sell him permanently. But if I was Thiago Pinto, if someone offers me a loan with an obligation to buy back fixed around 35 million, I would say yes. Obviously, it depends on the criteria which Zaniolo has to meet in order for the club to to trigger that buyback clause. But that's what I think. I think he's messed it up. I think in order for him to recreate the bond between the players, between the manager, but at the same time between the fans, is going to be almost impossible. So that's what I say. That's definitely what I think. I think he's got it wrong. He has got it extremely wrong. And that again highlights the bad attitude he has. The way he acts as a fucking 4 years old. He has to grow up. And this is just, this is a message to him wherever he goes. Because I know he's going to leave my club in the space of max 5 months. If he doesn't leave now, he's going to leave in the summer. But, you have to grow up. If he plays like this in a club, in a Premier League club, the first time he does something like make himself unavailable for a game, you're screwed. You're absolutely fucked, my friend. So you're lucky that Roma isn't that strict when it comes to following these rules. But if Zaniolo did what he did at Roma in a club like, I'll give you an example, in a club like Arsenal right now, you're out of the team. You're out of the team. So I think we've got quite a few days left until the end of the transfer window, but the big offer has to come. I mean, tomorrow is going to be another day. Massive updates. So by the way, more of you guys are tuning in, so please, if everyone in the stream right now can take 2 seconds to smash that like button, it would massively support me. Everyone do it. It's free of cost, and it supports me a lot. Just click that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I don't know who to support tonight. I'm gonna go Milan. I'm gonna go Milan because Lazio is Lazio, so I'd rather Milan win. I'd rather Lazio suffer. So obviously, but I wouldn't mind a draw. I really wouldn't. But yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow with more updates, key updates, massive key updates. We've got a massive game on Sunday against Napoli, and we'll slowly talk about that game. We've got a few days before talking about that, before starting to talk about that. So it's gonna be an important game, and yeah, why not? Let's believe in second position. Why not? Let's do it. But yeah, I'll catch you soon. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and share the link of my channel with your families and friends, and let me know in the comments of the video your feelings. Let me know your feelings on the Zaniolo situation and who your favorite Zaniolo replacement would be. And I will catch you very, very soon. Enjoy the game tonight. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and take care. I'll catch you soon. Simon, out.